You are Locked On Tigers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Detroit on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
And away we go. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. Happy to have you along. I am your host, Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma or unfollow me. And look, this was ugly from, I don't want to say from the jump, but it got ugly. How about that? And we've done this time and time again. Okay, I'm exaggerating. We've done this twice, but game's out of hand. We hop on and rap about it, especially comes into play when it's a later game like tonight was. I know it's just the central time zone, but still an hour late. So I'm thinking of everybody so we can get on with our lives because it's just a really unfortunate and sloppy performance from the Tigers tonight. It's 8-2 right now in the eighth inning. Of course, I say this, and the Tigers have 2 on with 1 out. Perez at the plate. He's 0 for 3. So maybe I'll just mix in some, go back to my play-by-play days and mix in some play-by-play. And I'm not going to brag with my play-by-play resume, but those that know me, I have called some fun games before. But this is Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. I am your host, Jake Riepma, fired up to have you. This is your one-stop shop for instant reaction after every Tigers game. That's why we're here. We break it all down. We'll talk about the Reese Olson injury tonight, how he had to leave the game. And I just felt like tonight was just a total team meltdown. You bring some momentum from taking a series against the Diamondbacks over the weekend, and you just don't show up tonight. Guys look checked out, silly errors, throwing the ball all around the yard, just little league stuff that is a sign of an immature team, in my opinion. And then we'll wrap it up with studs and duds. So come one, come all, like I said, fired up to have you. As always, we thank you for making Locked On Tigers POSTCAST your first listen immediately following the game every single day. Free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And I want to start with the Reese Olson injury. Of course, now we do have a hit coming now. Perez is going to reach and load the bases with 1 out. So what do we always say when we hop on early? If stranger things happen, then hand up. This one was on me, but I felt like people were kind of checking out. I was following Tigers Twitter and that sort of thing and felt like we could hop on a little bit early. But we'll keep you abreast of all the information and everything that happens while we are on this live Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. But this one you felt like was going to be a disaster going into that, or once everything that transpired in the third inning came into play. You got Reese Olson that takes the line drive off of the hip in that third inning, has to leave. A run scores when Jake Rogers just decides to throw it to nobody on third. And that was where I was getting at with the mental mistakes and the physical errors. Everything just kind of compiled. And the credit to Bo Brisky, who came in after Reese Olson left early. Bo Brisky was phenomenal. In fact, he later in the program, when we have our studs and duds, he might be the only stud from today's game because he retired all 7 batters, 7 up, 7 down. He was fantastic again after Reese Olson leaves with that hip contusion. We'll continue to follow what that injury entails for Reese Olson. Obviously, keep it Locked On Tigers for all the information on that, with me getting on right after the conclusion of the game. I don't have any updates other than what Tigers PR tweeted out, that he's left the game with a hip contusion. So there we go. We've got it. But Bo Brisky was really, really good. 7 up, 7 down. But the game gets away in the 6th when you've got the pitching matchup, Joey Wentz just throwing meatballs over the middle of the plate, and Salvador Perez just hitting towering home run, hit a towering home run. And the bottom of the 6th, the Royals bat around, and it felt like one of those nightmares or a bad car accident you just can't take your eyes off of because you feel it happening. And it was a 2-1 game entering that 6th inning. You had Kerry Carpenter hit the home run, and the Tigers weren't quite out of it, as it looks like a sacrifice fly there to make it 8-3. So maybe it's still 2-on with 2 out, and Urshela at the plate. He's 0 for 3. So again, if you're just joining us, you probably think I'm scatterbrained. I am a little bit scatterbrained. I'm all over the place, especially when the Tigers look checked out and they look as poor as they did all night tonight. I am recording this with the game still going on, but that's what Locked On Tigers Postcast, the flexibility that we love. We got a lot of people checking in on the YouTube. Adam Cullum, what a disappointing performance so far. Joey Wentz was terrible. I pray that the injury to Olson is not long-term. Yes, completely agree, Adam. Losing Reese Olson would be really, really disheartening. So hopefully it is just that bruise on the hip off the line drive, and he'll be all right. Javi back to his normal ways, grounded into 2 double plays. Very good point, Adam. I've got that on my list to talk about as well. Adam goes on to say some positives. Carey and Wenzel have been awesome. And then after that, offense has fallen off. We need more consistent at-bats and need to make trades at the deadline. Very interesting point that we'll have to talk about, because this team, that's what makes them so frustrating, is this team is close. The pitching staff is there. And when they decide to hit, you feel like this can be a competent ball club and maybe make some noise. I know there's some people, John Paul Morosi and some others, talking about this Tigers team as a gritty team. We love that word in Detroit, so gritty. And there's a walk from Gio Urshela. So now we do have the bases loaded. Tigers down 5. It's 8-3. So not quite the tying run at the plate, but some noise here in the top of the 8th for the Tigers. But I want to get back to where this one got away in that 6th inning, where the Royals bat all the way around. And the Joey Wentz thing is, I want to say, puzzling, because he has been really good this year, to be fair to him. But the pitching matchup, when it started to get away with Perez having the home run to left center, then you have Massey with the double, single, and the first, let me count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters reached, as it just continued to snowball for this Tigers bullpen. And we talk about all the time, giving your team a chance to win, continuing to give your team a chance to win. And when the bullpen turns over that way and allows the first 7 batters to reach, you're not giving your team a chance to win. It's a shame, because in a 2-1 ball game, Bo Brisky was pitching his heart out, and this Tigers team wasn't quite out of it yet, but it all just goes array with that 6th inning. And I also thought, just again, there were so many, and I'm not going to call it it certainly wasn't, hear me on this, it wasn't an error by Riley Green on that Pasquantino. Sorry, that's a tough name. Everybody struggled with that. I'm sorry. It was the Hunter Renfroe one. That's right. It was the Hunter Renfroe double to left that scored a couple of guys that Riley Green just went off the tip of his glove. And I'm not going to say that's a catch he should make, but the competitor in Riley Green, with how good he is defensively, I think he had a little bit more room than he realized up against the wall. Would have been a great catch, would have been a phenomenal catch. And I'm not saying, and at that point, the damage really was pretty much already done. I mean, it was a 4-1 ball game, and as we see now, the Tigers have 3 runs, so it would have made it a little bit more interesting. But that 2 runs was pretty disheartening, because then you have Hunter Renfroe getting all the way to third with more sloppy defense, with the Tigers throwing it all over the yard. And Jake Rogers, who gets all this credit for being such a great defensive catcher, had a couple of plays where you're just shaking your head. Obviously, the play in the 3rd inning where he threw it to nobody at third, but also in letting a couple of balls skip past him that you would expect a catcher to be able to stop. And again, physical errors, mental errors, a little bit of everything. The Tigers just didn't look ready to play tonight. And I say all that, and of course, they've got the bases loaded right now with Torque at the plate. He's 0 for 3. So we'll keep you abreast there as well. But as it stands right now, it's 8-3 Royals. And on a night where Reese Olson leaves the game with the hip injury in the 3rd, Bo Brisky does his job. He gets 7 up, 7 down, and then Joey Wentz is where this game got away in the 6th. The Royals do most of their damage in the 6th with 6 runs. They had the Massey home run, I believe that was in the 2nd, and then in the 3rd, they were able to score on a Massey infield single. And that was, that was the infamous play that we've been talking about, where Jake Rogers threw it to nobody, and they scored on the air. So 2-2 count to Torque, and he looks at one outside, make it a full count. How about that? Full count, 2 outs. Colt Keith is on deck. He is one of the bright spots that we will talk about in this one because he hit a couple of balls really, really hard. Was 3 for 3 at one point in this game. Torque grounds this one to second, and the play is made, and the side is retired. Tigers leave them loaded as Spencer Torkelson can't get the big hit. So there's a little live play-by-play for you. How about that? We're always keeping it fresh here on a Locked On Tigers postcast. Don't go anywhere. We're going to continue to break this one down. Up next, we will talk a little bit more about that pitching performance as well as just the total team meltdown and wrap it up with our studs and duds. Don't go anywhere. This episode of Locked On Tigers postcast continues in a moment. I want to tell you about my good friends at Policy Genius. They're a proud sponsor of Locked On Tigers postcast. And I know we joke around on Locked On Tigers postcast all the time. You guys know me. I like to think I have a good sense of humor, but with some things in life that are a little bit more serious, you got to really buckle down and take your time with it. And life insurance is one of those important safety nets for your family. And finding the right policy, the perfect policy for your family, can be very complicated and it can be very difficult on your own, as well as time consuming and just overall very overwhelming. That's where Policy Genius comes into play. Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace that can save you time and money so you can provide your family with a financial safety net starting today. Take it from me. I know the importance of life insurance. I've lost some important people in my life, and it's an important matter that you really should take care of sooner rather than later. And Policy Genius can make it really, really easy. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million worth of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid the unnecessary medical exams. If you have life insurance, you know the importance of it and what it means to be covered. If you've used Policy Genius before, you know that they have a dedicated staff that helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is always on hand to help talk you through it, walk you through it. Award-winning agents who will ask you the right questions through the process, step by step. They'll help you compare quotes easily from America's top insurers, and then in just a few clicks, find you your lowest price. It's as easy as it sounds. And you might be saying, whoa, I've got life insurance through work. Well, listen, your work life insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs. And even worse, it might not come with you if you leave your job. So check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save. That's policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. Because I love you and we care about you here, I'll give you the policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB one more time. policygenius/LockedOnMLB. All right, today's show also brought to you by Yahoo Finance. That's right. Every investor uses Yahoo Finance. Every smart investor uses Yahoo Finance, that is, because it is the one-stop shop for all of your needs. And let me tell you about Yahoo Finance, because Yahoo Finance is a difference maker in the investing world. Yahoo Finance puts everything clearly designed where to find everything, so you don't have to have 50 tabs open. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and oh so much more. You can securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and other investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors, and it's how Yahoo Finance ensures you have the insight to look at your wealth in its entirety. Let's say you're watching a boring Tigers game like tonight. Pull up Yahoo Finance and multitask. Okay, I added that one. That's not in the script. You know that. But Yahoo Finance has a community of over 90 million users each month with real strength, is helping you on your way to financial success. So for a comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com, the #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. All right, we're cruising right along, and I thought tonight was a major step back for the Tigers. And again, not quite final. It's 8-3 right now. Alex Lang is pitching, already has 2 outs and just 10 pitches total. But I don't want to point the finger at Joey Wentz on this game, but this is where it got away. And when the Tigers offense I shouldn't always lead with the offense, but the offense didn't do enough to win tonight. And the Royals are shockingly and surprisingly, I should say, a really good team. I mean, they've won 4 straight now, and they're coming off a sweep, albeit at the hands of the Athletics. But hey, the A's have been better than people expected. There's no doubt about that. But this entire AL Central division, you can't take nights off like the Tigers did tonight mentally. And then I keep going back to that, and maybe I'm putting too much stock into it because it seemed like the body language wasn't there, and it just wasn't the sharpness of a comprehensive competitive Major League Baseball team tonight, in my opinion. And that was really, really disappointed to see throughout the course of tonight. And again, I know it's one game. There's 162 of these. I'll say that over and over again, but you got to wonder, and I know how this is going to be received. Oh, Jake Riepma just calling out AJ Hinch, but AJ Hinch gets a lot of credit for being the manager that he is, and most of the time well-deserved, but he also has this aura about him where people can't question the moves that he makes. And Joey Wentz, bringing him in clearly was not the right move tonight. And I know that's easy for me to point out and say that after it all, the Royals bat around there in the 6th inning, but Joey Wentz, a guy that's just going to I shouldn't say just going to, but known for attacking the strike zone. And the first batter, Salvador Perez, is just hunting what he's offering, and a free swinger. You get a ball elevated in the middle of the zone over the heart of the plate, and it's bye-bye baseball. And good hitting is contagious, and the Royals used that momentum from the long ball from Perez to, again, bat around in the 6th inning where they were just teeing off on Joey Wentz. And you wonder why AJ Hinch left Joey Wentz out there as long as he did, because we entered that bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 1-run game, solo shot from Perez. Okay, it's a 2-run game. Then you see the Massey double. Then again, the first 7 batters are reaching. Why wasn't there something done when it was 3-1, when it was 4-1, before it became 6-1, 7-1, and ultimately 8-1 in that 6th inning? And maybe this is, when a team is routed like this after winning a series over the weekend, I had pretty high expectations. I'm not going to yell and scream and say, this season's over now. That was a couple weeks ago after 19 scoreless innings against the Marlins, where I really did think the season was over. But this was a shrug the shoulders, kind of a deflating game in general, and where the team just did not seem ready to play. I get it. It's a grueling road trip. You're flying into a new time zone. You're coming back from the weekend in Phoenix. You're now in Kansas City. Monday game, whatever it was, the team just was not ready to play. And that it felt like the level of care and the level of compete. I'm going to use a hockey term, or compete level, as Blashill used to say. Yeah, I wonder if Blashill is going to be that coach for the San Jose Sharks. That would be funny. I love Jeff Blashill. But this is I'm derailing quickly and getting sidetracked. But let me know what you think in the comments as well on YouTube here. Adam Cullen, appreciate him tuning into this one. We've got more action on the base pass here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bobby Witt Jr.'s up to bat, and I didn't see exactly what happened, I'll be honest. But Adam Cullen, for our deadline moves, I would like to see them go get a good catcher. This has been a problem for years. Jake Rogers had a semi-good last year, but I mean, he has a worse average than Javi. Yeah, Jake Rogers, for whatever reason, this is going to sound like I'm picking on him, but he just gets this free pass all the time of he plays well defensively, he calls a good game, the pitchers like him, and so on and so forth. And I'm with Adam on this one. I don't think he adds a lot of value to your lineup. And, tonight he makes a couple of errors, and it was just a wild pitch there from Alex Lang. But yeah, you look at the statistics there, and there's just not a lot to be, to go to bat with, so to speak, for Jake Rogers. A $194. I mean, the on base percentage at 2.257. This doesn't show me OPS in front of me, but some simple math would tell you that the OPS with the OBP plus slugging percentage there is not good. So I agree. If there's a move to be made, but I also I'm not going to get my hopes up because I don't think Scott Harris cares. He made that pretty clear at the beginning of the season that I don't anticipate this team making a big move at the deadline to try to gear up to go win an AL Central division. I mean, yes, we're nearing the latter portion of the month of May, but a lot of baseball yet to be played, and the Tigers hovering around that 500 mark. If they weren't in win mode when they were, several games above 500, I don't know what would change to make them get into win mode, which is frustrating for fans. And, that playoff streak will continue. The streak of not making the playoffs is a better way to put it. Will playoff drought, more like it, will continue in unless some things completely change. But I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself on that here in the month of May. On what are we, Monday, May 20th? So yeah, we will pump the brakes on that one. We're going to wrap it up with our studs and duds, as well as wrap this one up for night number 1 of the series against the Kansas City Royals. 2 more on tomorrow and on Wednesday before a 4-game set with the Toronto Blue Jays. So studs and duds coming up next. Don't go anywhere here on Locked On Tigers. All right, I want to tell you about LinkedIn, and more specifically, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. How about that? The LinkedIn Sales Navigator helps those that might be struggling to close deals, right? We all want to close deals. BTB selling is tougher than ever, and that's why LinkedIn Sales Navigator changes the game. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, also drive higher revenue and increase sales performance. If they could increase the Tigers' performance, that would be great as well. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes, which accounts you should prioritize, and so much more. Also shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. That's right. Let's play the percentages a little bit. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter the most. Now, I will say you all matter, but LinkedIn Sales Navigator helps identify those that are most likely to convert to buyers. And right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial. Let me say that again, 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. This is linkedin.com/lockedon. LinkedIn.com/lockedon for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon to get started. Time to wrap this one up as the Tigers are about to have their fate sealed here in game number 1 of the series against the Royals, game number 47 on the season, as all goes as expected here in an 8-3 ball game in the top of the 9th. Tigers will fall below 500. And like I said, the Royals are about to be 10 games over 500, which nobody saw that coming. So this is a tough team. And tomorrow it will be Casey Mize on the bump for the Tigers, a chance to try to even the series and a chance to close it out with Tarek Skubal on Wednesday. That's a day game. Don't forget about that. Wednesday day game. We love that. But tomorrow, I think it's important for the Tigers to play a better brand of baseball, be more competitive, not make the boneheaded plays that we saw Jake Rogers make today, not make the mental mistakes, not, missing the cutoff man or skipping it into home and letting the Royals take the extra base. It seemed like that happened a number of times tonight, which was frustrating to watch. But our duds, as complimentary as we were to Javi Baez, he was really, really bad tonight after being so good over the weekend. In fact, his first 2 plate appearances grounded into double plays. And again, that was when it was a close game, 1-run game. So you're the go-ahead run at the plate and the tying run at first. And both times, Javi just rolled over, lazy at-bat, poor plate approach, you name it, into the double play. Bummer there. Jake Rogers, also a dud tonight. Again, the costly, I say not a costly error in the sense that it's not like that 1 run lost the game for the Tigers, but anytime your catcher is making a boneheaded play like that, it's frustrating to watch. I'll leave it at that. And then at the plate, I mean, he did have the 1 hit, but again, I think it was Adam in the comments that mentioned how bad his batting average is. Javi 0 for 3. 0 for 4 night for Spencer Torkelson. Gio Urshela 0 for 3. 0 for 3 for Mark Canha. 0 for 2 for Riley Green. Just a lot of goose eggs up on the board that we are starting to get used to seeing. And then Joey Wentz. It's going to sound like I'm picking on the guy, but you got to be better than that. You got to find a way to get some outs in that spot. Again, he came in a 1-run game. Did not get an out, faced I believe it was 6 batters, but 5 hits allowed, 5 runs, all of them earned. Did not walk a batter, did not strike a batter. But Joey Wentz, this is a forgettable outing for him, which is a bummer because he's a local kid there, grew up watching Kansas City and so on and so forth. You would love to see him come out of the pen and do a good job. Our stud, Bo Brisky, 2 1/3, 7 up, 7 down. He was really, really good. Pitch to contact, though, did not have a strikeout, but in a tough spot coming in for the injured Reese Olson, I thought he did a good job of just exactly that. He did his job very effectively. And again, Reese Olson, we hope he's okay. The only information now is the hip contusion, but Bo Brisky was really good. And I think that as the mastermind, AJ Hinch and the rest of the organization and the rest of the coaching staff works through the correct bullpen usage, I think Bo Brisky did a good job tonight, and probably what goes a long way in maybe establishing himself in a more prominent role. Or if he's that long reliever guy, that's a role that every bullpen needs as well. So appreciate everybody tuning in. A couple other people chiming in on the comments. Mike Mann, 9138 or 389. Numbers are hard. Tough night. Yep. Colt Keith with 3 hits tonight. Good point by Adam there. We'll put him on the stud board. And this one is final officially. So there you have it. 8-3 final. I didn't think anything crazy was going to happen, but Tigers did load the bases there in the 8th after scoring a run, and Spencer Torkelson grounded out. Okay. With that said, like I mentioned, just game 1 of 3 against the Royals as the Tigers close out this 6-game road trip. They're now 2-2 through the first 4 games, 2 more against the Royals, 1 tomorrow, and then the day game finale on Wednesday. Tomorrow it is Casey Mize. Wednesday it'll be Tarek Skubal, and you know where to find us after the game, or when it's bad like tonight, or when it was really good like what was that, Saturday night we went on early. Locked On Detroit, Locked On Sports Detroit on YouTube for your Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. And don't forget to check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley. I always love hearing his thoughts on everything. Great follow on Twitter as well. And as always, we've got the two-prong attack for all your Tigers baseball needs. That's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Locked On Tigers POSTCAST.